Top 10 misconceptions about the Bible. It is almost impossible to mention religion without some debate issuing forth. Fundamentalist Christians like to use the Bible as a source of revelation and will argue for hours from its pages. Over history, people have developed strange misconceptions about the Bible and the tales it tells. This list hopes to put down some of the most obvious misconceptions people have about the Bible. Number 10. Adam and Eve's fruit. Contrary to the popular belief, Adam and Eve did not eat an apple in the book of Genesis. This fruit is actually not named at all. It is only referred to as the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The reason this misconception has come about is most likely due to the fact that in the Middle Ages, the word apple was used to refer to all fruit and nuts except berries. Over the centuries, this word has stuck in reference to the Genesis fruit. Number 9. Devilish Serpent. The serpent that convinced Eve to take the fruit from the tree of knowledge and evil is not referred to as Satan in Genesis. He is known only as the serpent who was more subtle than any other beast of the earth. Number 8. Noah's Ark. We all know that the animals went in 2 by 2, right? Wrong. In fact, all clean animals went in groups of 7 and unclean animals in groups of 2. According to the Jewish dietary law, there are far more clean animals than unclean. Number 7. The 10 Commandments. Considering the importance of the 10 Commandments to so many people, you would think that they would have a clear idea of how they are defined, but most people do not. The Bible does not list a consistent set of 10 Commandments. In Exodus, the list includes 14 to 15 statements. Though the Bible does refer to a set of 10 rules, it does not mention them in the same sections as the list commonly known as the 10 Commandments. Different Christian sects have divided the list of commandments up differently. The Catholic Church combines the first 3 statements into one commandment, and the Protestants combine the final 2 into one statement. You can see a complete list of differences. Number 6. The Immaculate Conception. The Immaculate Conception is not a reference to Jesus being born without sin, but to his mother Mary. Most Christians believe that all people are conceived with original sin, the sin inherited from Adam and Eve, but that Jesus was not. Additionally, the Catholic Church teaches that Mary was also conceived without sin, and this is where the term Immaculate Conception has come from. The Immaculate Conception is the conception of Mary, the mother of Jesus, without any strain of original sins. The dogma says that from the first moment of her existence, she was preserved by God from the lack of sanctifying grace that afflicts mankind, and that she was instead filled with divine grace. Number 5. The 3 Kings. No doubt most of us have heard of the Christmas carol, "We 3 Kings of the Orient are." But in fact, the 3 kings are never referred to as kings in the Bible. Number 4. Mary Magdalene's career. Nowhere in the Bible did it say that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute. In fact, she was barely mentioned at all. Aside from her presence at the resurrection, the only other thing that the Bible does state is that she was possessed by 7 demons. Number 3. The prodigal son. Contrary to the popular belief, prodigal means characterized by a profuse or wasteful expenditure. It is not a reference to leaving or returning. Number 2. Emperor Constantine and the Bible. The Emperor Constantine did not define the canon of the New Testament at the First Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. In fact, the council did not even make mention of the biblical canon. It was already defined by the early 2nd century in the form in which it is still found in Catholic Bibles. Number 1. Changing text. Some people believe that over the centuries, the Bible text has been altered to suit the ideologies of the editors. Now, in fact, there are only a very small number of textual alterations that modern critics consider intentional changes. Most are simply errors in spelling or copying.